Hello and welcome to PlanningPod's Floor Plans Plus, our event floor plan software that allows you to build customizable to-scale room layouts and setups with our easy-to-use event floor plan app. Now, this suite of tools is available both to our venue management and our event management packages, and also as a standalone product in and of itself. Let's get started with this overview of our floor plans tool on our events dashboard. This is where you land when you first log into your account, and every single floor plan must start with an event. So we're going to go ahead and start by opening up the Smith Wedding Celebration. And you'll see that there are a variety of items on this dashboard that are going to be useful to you. You have your three main tools, the attendee list, check-in tool, and floor plans here in the main dashboard area. You'll also see that you have things like your head counts so that you can easily access that information, and a place to add contacts, vendors, and venues so that you can easily keep track of who's involved in which event. Let's go ahead and get started in the attendee list. By clicking on the tool from the event dashboard, you'll come into a list where you can manage all sorts of different things related to your attendees. First, of course, you can use the Add New Attendee button to add individual attendees to the event. Now, this does feel a little bit labor intensive if you've got a big guest list, so we do have options for uploading those names. From here, you can do other things like group attendees into groups that need to be seated together, and even add a second RSVP event to an event that you have in your account. So a post-wedding brunch might be a good example of when this would be useful, where you might have two different guest lists or some people who are attending one event and not the other. The Import/Export button will give you all of your options to upload lists or export information that you need from this tool. You'll also notice that there are some options to customize things. You can add multiple meal choices, and you'll see where this becomes really valuable when we get into the floor plan. So I'm going to go ahead and add steak, a chicken option, maybe a vegetarian option, and even a special diet option. That's a great way to be able to indicate how many people at a table need to have a special diet if you're passing this off to catering staff, or you just want to make sure the servers know who's at their table. From here, you can also edit the attendee responses. So you'll see we have some no responses here. We can edit them by adding attending on a one-off basis and choose their meal. There's also an option in here where you can click check boxes and manage these on a more mass level to save yourself some time. You can update RSVP statuses this way, you can update meal choices, and you can even create groups of attendees. Now, let's start creating floor plans. We're going to go ahead and start from scratch this first time by adding a floor plan, giving it a name, and deciding on the width and length of the canvas that we need to create our floor plan. Now, note that this is the actual canvas you're working on, not the room space, so you might need to give yourself a couple extra feet on each of these. Once we have the canvas, we can start working with our floor plan. You can choose the type of tables that you have available to you. In this case, we're going to do 5-foot rounds. You can choose to add labels or not. It will automatically number tables for you. And you'll note that we can decide how many rows and how many tables per row, as well as the layout. You can also choose a seating style, all the way around, or different cabaret styles, and the chairs that you have available. Once you click Save, it will evenly distribute your tables on the floor plan. You can move these one by one, and this Revert Move button is really helpful if you accidentally move something. You can also use the Expand Canvas option to have more space to work on your floor plan. You can click, hold, and drag to select things en masse and make mass moves, or to make mass edits. You can also mark things as favorites to use again and again for easy access. This is a great way to keep track of the inventory you have available in your venue so that it doesn't get confusing. Now, let's say that we need to edit the number of chairs at these tables. By selecting them, we can quickly remove chairs, add chairs, or even just change the chair types on a set of tables or all of the tables. With how easy it is to move things, it's not impossible that you might make a mistake, and I love the Revert Move button when those things happen. You can quickly click this little revert button and it will move elements back to where they were before. Now, let's go ahead and add a buffet table to this. We're going to go ahead and choose a serpentine table and add a label to go along with this so we know what it is. We're going to choose end to end and say we want 5 tables, and we can even change the colors. Now that we've put those on there, we can move them to their preferred location, and we've got our buffet tables set. Moving along, we can go ahead and add furniture where necessary. We have options for managing trade shows, for safety features, things like stages, pianos, dance floors. Basically, you name it, we've got it in here. Like an elevated platform for the head table. So we'll call this the head table. Make it the dimensions that we need, and now we need to rotate it. We've got a great quick rotate option. Just make sure to save in order for that rotation to take place. And then we can go about putting it where we'd like to, adjusting tables, making any changes that we need to so that the layout is perfect and exactly as we want it to appear. We can make a couple little adjustments here. Go ahead and get ready to add in our dance floor, set the size, place it exactly where we want it on our floor plan, and then we can go ahead and add the head table. Now for our head table, we're going to do a smaller table. This is going to be where the bride and groom sit. We only need one. We can go ahead and add a label if we'd like to. And we don't need a ton of people sitting at this table, just the bride and the groom, so we can go ahead and set them up as we'd like to. Now they're facing the wrong direction right now, so let's use our rotate tool to make them face the guests so that everyone can see their beautiful faces. And once you're pleased with your floor plan design, we can move on to managing your attendees and putting guests in seats. Just choose the list that you want to seat on this floor plan, click submit, and then you can begin. You'll see very quickly here that none of our guests are seated. By expanding the list view option, we can choose to remove those who are not attending so that we don't have to worry about seating them. Just grab a guest and drag them to the chair you'd like to sit them in, or you can seat people in a couple of other great ways. Now you'll notice over here that we have the option under our list view options at the top to seat all or unseat all. I'm going to remove our guests, and we're going to go ahead and multi-select by clicking and holding the shift key and drag them just to a single table. You'll see that it placed them in random seats, and if we want to unseat them, we can either click delete to remove them from their seat, or we can move them to a new seat by dragging and dropping. To notate your VIPs on your floor plan, no problem, just use the star to the left of their name and the guest list. Now, on the right side, you'll see different options for view filters for your floor plan. You can show labels that you added as you were creating your floor plan or hide them. Show the service area around your table so it's clear that you have enough space for your event, and even show attendee names. You can use pinch and zoom to go in and out, and even move your floor plan around by holding down the Alt key on a PC or the Option key on a Mac. Now, above that, you'll see that you can use different view filters, including VIP status, RSVP status, meal choice, and invitation priority. To view your floor plan using metric instead of imperial measurements, just click the Use Metric option in the lower right-hand corner. The last thing we really need to cover is the actual room outline or the background for the space you're designing for. You've always been able to upload a background image like a blueprint or an aerial drawing of your room, but now you can actually draw in the background for your space. Just drag and drop the room segments, and you can either set the length of each segment as you're adding it to the diagram, or you can drag and drop the normal segment on there and just drag it to the correct length. The little dots at the end of the lines will snap in, and you can create curved walls very simply by adding the straight section and then using the slider at the top with the wall selected to curve it to the correct length. You can add external walls, of course, but you can also add internal walls and barriers that are not mobile so that they're always there on your floor plan when you're working. Back on our floor plan, we can add setup instructions by clicking on the setup instructions and typing in important notes for this particular event. You'll click the Download Options button in order to get information about this particular event, like name badges, exporting the attendee list, exporting the equipment list, or downloading a PDF. Here you can decide what details you want to include on that PDF, including detailed information for each individual table, the view that you would like to see. I recommend the meal choice if you're providing this to the kitchen, the attendee names, table numbers, and other labels. Once you've set these settings the way you'd like them, click Generate PDF. First page of your PDF will include the setup instructions that we just created, your seating counts, the attendee legend based on the options you chose in the PDF output, and your complete floor plan. The table details will include a legend, a picture of the table, as well as the attendee information as it pertains to each individual table or chair row. To streamline this process, you can create templates of spaces that you use often by clicking on templates from the main navigation menu. Here, you can add as many floor plan templates as you need for your facility for an easy way to import standard templates into events. To import a floor plan into an existing event, click on your Floor Plans tool from within the event, Import/Export at the top of the screen, import template as new floor plan, and simply choose the floor plan template that you'd like to use. Floor plan will then automatically open and you can begin seating guests, making changes to the floor plan, and working with this just like you would one that you built from scratch. And there you have it. That's the Floor Plans tool in Planning Pod. For more detailed tutorials on all of the tools we cover today, please visit us at support.planningpod.com or watch more videos on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/planningpod. Thanks and have a great day.